If you want to improve battery life on the Motorola Moto G87, you can go through a couple of different settings in order to make some changes on your phone. So if you open the settings over here, then first we can go to display settings, because usually display settings have the biggest impact on the battery. So if you go to display, then over here you can, for example, use adaptive brightness in order to use less battery. The less brightness you use, the more battery you can save, although you always want to use just enough brightness so that you can comfortably use the phone, and the adaptive brightness helps you with that. Dark theme uses less battery than the light theme, so of course you can consider turning it on. You can also create a schedule so you can have a mix between the light and dark theme. I mean, the dark theme can be automatically enabled at a given time and disabled at another time as well. I have to mention display refresh rate. Although you probably don't really want to limit yourself to 60 Hz, it is definitely better to use it if we talk about improving the battery life. 60 Hz simply saves the battery. It uses less battery than 120 Hz. So if you choose any of these two options of a smart and balanced or hyper smooth, you will definitely use more battery. Now personally, I would not really reduce the refresh rate to 60 Hz because I just think that the visual experience with 120 Hz is just much better. But still, like I said, I have to mention this because it has a pretty big impact on the battery. Besides that, we can also go to the screen timeout, and if you use the display, it also uses lots of battery, so you might want to disable this option. Also, in the case of the screen timeout itself, it is recommended to use 15 or 30 seconds to save the battery. Usually you don't need more than that. Of course, in my case, I use 2 minutes for the sake of these videos, so the screen doesn't turn off when I'm recording this, but still 15 or 30 seconds is the recommended option. Besides that, what you can also do is you can go to location, and then over here in location we can go to location services, and you can turn off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth scanning. You can disable both of these options because they are not really required to be enabled all the time, and they actually drain a bit of battery. So whenever the phone needs to use these features or any app actually, then you will be informed about it, and you will have the option to, of course, turn it back on. So you can turn them off and you don't have to really worry about any issues. Now, besides that, you can also go to Google in settings, and once you open Google services, we can switch to all services. And then over here, we need to find usage and diagnostics, and you can turn this option off. It's going to save a bit of battery as well. Now, besides that, we also have a couple of different battery settings that are worth mentioning. And of course, in battery, we can find the battery saver, and it is not really recommended to use the battery saver all the time, but it is a pretty solid option whenever you need to save the battery when you cannot really charge phone. So if you are in a situation where you need to keep your phone alive, but you cannot charge your phone, then you can try to use the battery saver. There is also the maximum battery saver, which completely restricts lots of features, and you can only use specific apps of your choice over here. So if you go to essential apps, then you can choose which apps should be available. And of course, you want to keep only those that you actually truly need to use when you have the maximum battery saver enabled. You can also create a schedule for the battery saver so it can be automatically enabled if you want to, but still, you can of course use it in certain situations. Now, besides that, we can also go to battery usage, and you can see which apps use lots of battery. You can also go through previous days, and you can also switch back to last 14 days in order to have a bigger picture, so that you can decide if you want to, for example, restrict the background you can decide if the app should be able to run in the background, essentially. This is what I'm trying to say. Of course, if apps are running in the background, they are going to drain the battery, or at least just use it. Maybe not drain, but use it. However, keep in mind that there are apps that require you to allow them to run in the background, because they function properly only if they are allowed to run in the background. So, of course, you probably don't really want to restrict the background usage for every app, but you can of course probably figure that out, especially when it comes to like games or other apps that usually are not like social media apps or something. Now, besides that, there is also the battery protection, and it is definitely recommended to use any form of battery protection. If you have a charging pattern, so you always charge your phone at the same time for the same amount of time and you stop at the same time, then you can try to use the smart schedule. This option is going to use AI in order to learn your charging habits and pattern. And then based on the collected information, the phone can limit charging to 80%. And then 1 hour before you unplug the charger, the phone should be able to charge from 80 to 100%. There's also the manual schedule, which just limits the battery to 80%. And there is also the specific hours option, which allows you to set up exactly when the 80% limit should be used. And the reason why you might want to limit yourself to 80% is because batteries nowadays are built in such a way that they just are in a more healthy state for a longer time when you keep it, when you charge it only to 80%. This is just how they work nowadays. And I know this can be very annoying to use on a daily basis when you cannot really charge all the way to 100%, so I can understand if you don't use it. But I just have to say that charging to 80% in long term is very beneficial for the battery, and you keep it in a healthy state for a longer time, and you slow down the aging process like that. Of course, aging of the battery is inevitable, and sooner or later you will definitely experience it, but it's not something that happens within a couple of weeks or even a couple of months. But still, you can keep the battery in the healthy state for as long as possible by limiting the battery to 80%. And that is almost everything. One last thing that I have to mention is, of course, the usage of connectivity features such as Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, mobile data. There is also the location, NFC, and so on and so forth. Of course, I'm not saying to not use these features at all. I'm saying to disable these options whenever you don't need them, whenever you don't use them. For example, right now I don't have any Bluetooth device connected to my phone, so there is no reason for me to have Bluetooth enabled, so I can just turn it off completely, and I can of course re-enable it whenever I need to, whenever I want to connect something to my phone. The same thing can be done, of course, with Wi-Fi or mobile data. Let's say with Wi-Fi, when you are outside of your home, when you don't have, when you are not connected to Wi-Fi, and then well, there is no need to have it enabled. And you can do the same thing with NFC, like I said, although of course it probably doesn't really use that much battery, but still, it is, of course, collectively it's going to save a bit of battery. So, in fact, many of these features, maybe individually they do not make a big of a difference, but collectively, if you make several different changes, they will definitely improve the battery life, and you will definitely notice it. And that is pretty much it. Leave a like and subscribe.